Around a year ago, I just finished year 12 and I was heading into year 13. I'd just done my end of year exams and I did pretty well in them. I got predicted nearly all A stars in my A levels. And then something weird happened. See, since like I did my end of year exams in year 12, I'd built this channel. This channel is based around like productivity, self-improvement, like academic sort of environment. And I'd been like quite like a studious academic guy, right? I'd been studying quite like, I think 2 hours a day, every single day, 2-3 hours a day, every single day, pretty much every single day, going up to those exams. However, something really weird happened after my year 12 end of year exams. I completely fell off. I completely fell off all academic stuff. If you know my story, I returned to my pre-GCSE self. There I was, before that, I'd been listening in lessons, I'd been writing notes, doing practice questions every single day. But after my end of year exams, I literally turned into some waste man. I would zone out whatever the teacher was saying in every single lesson. I would literally spend my free periods playing Call of Duty on my iPad. And I spent my lunch. I didn't spend my lunch productively. I didn't spend my other free period productively. I randomly sparred people in lunch and stuff. And then I started falling behind. But I never wanted this to happen. I never actually actively wanted me to fall off academics, right? Then I go into year 13. I'm in year 13 now. But as soon as I come into year 13, I thought I was going to go back to track, right? I was going to start listening again. But I didn't. I kept going in that cycle where I just couldn't listen in lesson. I was understanding nothing in class. I had turned into this big waste man of a student. I literally understood nothing that was going on in class. I even stopped uploading consistently to this YouTube channel because I just gone out of routine. I just become so different to myself in year 12. This caused me a lot of mental turmoil, and over the last 3 days I've been doing some thinking about why that is. I don't know why I randomly fell off, but now I think I do. Now I know, I think for life, why I will never fall off again. I'll never become that waste man again. And B, I think I've hacked productivity. I think I know the secret to becoming productive all day, every day. How do you do it? It's literally one word. If you understand this one concept, you will be more productive than anyone around you. I promise you that. You'll never get these random periods that you fall off, and you'll probably be successful in the future. That one word is routine. Routine is basically when you do the same thing every single day, pretty much forever. Now, before you come at me saying, "Oh, this is unsustainable," don't say this. I'm going to explain to you my thought process behind this and why this works, and also why it's genuinely going to change your life, okay? So I'm going to explain this in parts. Number one is, we want to go back to my year 12 days, but pre-year 12 days, where I was really, really disciplined, and I was going on YouTube and I was searching videos on helping me to succeed in sixth form, right? I wanted to know how to become more disciplined. I wanted to know how to become a better student. And I would go on these videos, right? And then most of them would just be giving random advice. The advice would be good. The advice would be study hard, do these flashcards, do these flashcards every single day, do this specific revision tip, and especially lock in. There was one YouTuber who just kept on saying, "All right, just lock in." And looking back, I never really knew what that meant. That would give me motivation in the moment. I would be really, really fired up for that day. But then I never really understood why I could never keep consistent with the amount of revision. You've probably experienced this before, right? You've tried to revise, you've got really motivated maybe from one of my videos, or other YouTubers' videos, or other influencers' videos. You go out of that, you get really, really motivated for one day, and then after the day is finished, you've done 6 hours of work, and then you go back to just scrolling on Instagram Reels for 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours a day after that. And yeah, I struggled with this as well, okay? The reason being is that these influencers that say, "Oh, just lock in, bro, just lock in," don't really understand how productivity works. They don't actually understand how it works. And the reason being is that, I'm going to try to explain this to you in the least confusing way, basically. So whenever you're like revising, whenever you have some goal that you're striving towards, before all of this, you need to have some kind of goal you're working towards. Otherwise, all of this becomes pointless. If you don't have a goal that you're working towards, you don't really know why you're working hard for. I used to do this in like year 8. I used to like revise all day, but I didn't really know why. Like I didn't even want to get good grades. I just felt like revising because I saw people online revising. But you need to have some kind of goal that you set. But after you set this goal, when you work towards your goal, you're gonna have like these up and down periods. You're gonna be really like the sine curve. If you're a math student, you're gonna have these periods of time where you're really motivated. You're really motivated to go study 3 hours a day. These happen quite rarely, so you do that like quite rarely, and then you're gonna also have these like trough periods where you become like a waste man. You spend like randomly 10 hours a day on your phone. But these two extremes happen very rarely. What no one talks about is the average. What is your day-to-day life like in general? What do you do on a day-to-day basis? And if you really think about that, right? We're not talking about some like exam experience. Don't think about the time you had an exam in 2 days, so you started revising like 10 hours a day. Think about like, I don't know, like March when you had no mock exams, you were just chilling. What did your day-to-day life look like? And if you really track that down, it probably wasn't productive. So when we look, these average days, these days that we don't really have something to strive for, are the days that create success. These are like the average day where you're not really motivated, but you're not really in like that state of like degeneracy where you just spend 10 hours a day on your phone. These average days basically constitute to our success, okay? So what we do on a day-to-day, like it doesn't matter that we're really motivated on one day and we're like really degenerative waste man on another day. It matters what we do in between it. It matters, like the average matters, right? Now, in order to raise our average, so before this, if you think about anyone successful, think about their daily routine. Their daily routine is probably really productive. And the reason being is that they've implemented routine. We want our average day to be really productive. We want something to fall back on, so we just become productive like AFK without really thinking about it. We just go and do work, and that's something I really didn't realize because I always thought like I had to like force myself to go revise. But if you correctly implement the routine in the way I'm going to show you in this video, you're just going to be like AFK just following this routine, and it's going to be really sick because you're basically going to like be able to revise and work without really trying. So yeah, this is our like main motivation. We want to raise our average day so it just becomes really productive on a day-to-day basis. So back to my main point, we want to create an ideal day that we stick to every single day that doesn't really change, right? We want to do the same thing every day, pretty much every day of the week at the same time. You want to get up at the same time every single day. Like I made this mistake a lot during year 11. On one day I would like randomly wake up at 5 a.m. and plan my day starting from 5 a.m. and then one day I would just wake up really late at like 9 a.m. and then I would plan my day around that 9 a.m. slot. That's what we want to like. We want to get rid of that. We want to wake up every single day at the same time and go to sleep at the same time. We want to have like when you were a little kid, your parents probably gave you like a bedtime. We want to have a bedtime, right? We want to go to sleep at the same time every single day. We want to eat at the same time every day. We want to go to the gym at the same time every day. We want to work at the same time every day. Now, this may sound like really psychopathic to you. This may sound like really weird. Well, you have no social life. Why are you doing the same thing every single day? I didn't say that you're not allowed to go out with friends. I'll show you. I'll explain to you like later in the video. All I'm saying is that having this like very regimented structure to your day is extremely useful. And really think about this, right? If you go to school and they never had a timetable, they just let you do whatever you want every single day, it would be chaos. If you went to the military, if you've ever done like basic training, if they let you do whatever you want every single day, it would again be chaos. These strict timetable, routine like day structures are what create success. And the reason is that it gives you something to like fall back on. So again, another tangent. When I was doing my exams in like GCSEs, I think I used to watch these videos of like people basically clickbaiting their audience by saying, oh yeah, this is like the 60-day revision plan you have to follow to get all nines at GCSE. But this routine gets rid of that. You don't have to change your routine when exams come around, like if you have a routine that you can really stick to. Because like when you do the same thing, when you study every single day, just do the same thing every single day, you don't need to like do anything extra for exams. You just become that kind of guy who gets the good grades. I know it's really like wishy-washy when I explain it to you right now, but trust me, sticking on the kind of routine I'm going to recommend you right now will change your life. And I'm in the process of like sticking to a routine right now, and I can say that it gives me so much, just it gets rid of a lot of like stress if you just have a routine you follow every single day. But in a way, it does kind of make you a psychopath. But then, like anyone successful or anyone barred successful has a daily routine. Look at any single like million. Don't just look at like random people which are just like cram for exams. We're better than that. What you want to look at is like really successful people. Really like what like think of a career you want to go into, or like entrepreneurship you want to go into. Look at someone who's at the top of their field. And I pretty much guarantee you they have a daily routine that they follow every single day. Like a classic example is, think of anyone successful. Charlie, no, you probably don't know. No, Iman Gatti. Like I don't care what you think about him, but he's a very, very successful person online. And he has something that he follows every single day. Think of Elon Musk. He does the same things every single day. I'm not telling you that you're going to become like Elon Musk, but like, following these successful people who have a daily regimented routine will definitely help. So I've sort of like tried to convince you. I've probably like, I don't know how much this would work, but I've probably convinced you that like sticking onto one routine that you can fall back on. Like that's the main point. You want to be able to fall back on the routine. When life gets in the way, when it gets stressful, when you have exams, when you have like personal statements to like review, when you have this test, that test, the one like regimented thing, the one static thing in your life that you can always rely on should be your routine. And that's honestly so beautiful, right? Again, another side tangent I'm going to go on, like the exam number, the grade on our exam shouldn't be what we're going to focus on going forward, like for life now. Like if you get like a bad grade, if you get a good grade, these like grade things lay outside of your control. It's something called your external locus of control. So if you like do a test and you do bad on it, don't worry about the actual number on like, or the letter on the paper. Worry about if you've stuck to your routine that I'm going to show you later on in the video. Because now, like looking back at like year 12, this is another mistake I made in year 12, is that I worried too much about like the grade I was getting in like further maths, even though like I wasn't like revising for it. But now if you stick to your routine, you just revise, do like 3 hours of deep work every single day. If you just focus on the things you control, and what you can control is your routine. So if you just focus on your routine, you just become the type of guy that can achieve the grades. If your goal is grades. So now I'm going to move on to exactly how my routine looks right now, and how I'm trying to stick to this every single day. So I just came back from the gym, and I'm going to show you exactly my daily routine day to day as a year 13 student. So I actually, like, whenever I open up my laptop here, I have it on one of my like, I don't know what this is called. I think like bookmarked tabs. I think I just have it here. I click that, and this is what I try to follow every single day to the dot. I'm going to answer some like frequently asked questions and stuff later on, but I'm just going to explain my daily routine, what I try to do every single day, like for the rest of my life, hopefully, because I just want to follow this for the rest of my life. Like, I want to make it as fun as possible. I try to make it as fun as possible as well, so it's not just me just grinding for 12 hours a day. But I'm going to explain to you. So Monday to Friday looks approximately the same, because I have like sixth form, I have year 13. And my daily routine is I go to sleep at 8 p.m. 8 p.m. I go to sleep. The reason my bedtime is so early is because, I don't know, from like a very young age, I've always been really tired, like
from like 7 p.m. I'll get really tired, and like all my mates would be like, bro, it's 7 p.m. man, you're not like a toddler, man. But I don't know, I've always been like really tired, but I've been able to get up quite early, like early on in the day. But it depends on your preferences. If you can like work till like late night and then you struggle to get up early in the morning, then fair enough. But I've always been able to get up early in the morning and then just go to sleep earlier, just because that's what works for me. But here's how you make it like a daily routine. You go to Google Calendar and you basically set it up in this way. I'm not going to show you exactly how to like make the events and stuff. It's not that hard to do. It's like you just have to like right click, add an event. Sorry. You add an event like this, and then you just schedule it for either weekdays or weekends. I don't really need to explain that to you, seeing that all of my audience is quite smart, so they could probably figure this out. But anyway, yeah. So I sleep at 8 p.m. and I get up at 4:30 a.m. And then when I get up, I wake up, get ready for school and stuff, and then I go shower. I try to take a cold shower because that increases your base dopamine levels. But honestly, like over the past couple of weeks, I've kind of slacked on cold showers and stuff. I don't really know why. I need to get back on the cold shower grind. But yeah, I just have any shower, but preferably cold shower. I then do deep work. So I'm going to make a full guide on how to do deep work. It's a special type of like focused work on like the kind of work that's the hardest to do and also requires the most brain power, basically. So I'm not like reading notes right in the morning. I'm not like gonna like rewrite notes. I'm not gonna like memorize math flashcards. I'm not gonna like memorize De Moivre's theorem. I'm just gonna do like the highest leverage, like the highest leverage task that's gonna get me to my goal the quickest. So if it was like maths or further maths, I would be doing practice papers right in the morning, like deep work in the morning for like 90 minutes. I'm going to tell you why in like I have a video on exactly how to work and how to work properly. So something you probably haven't been taught before. It's like a whole guide on exactly how to work like in a focused manner. And in that video, I explain why you can't work. Like everyone works in at least like 30-minute chunks, 60-minute chunks, or 90-minute chunks. I guarantee you that you can't work for more than 90 minutes without getting distracted, or at least like maintaining a good level of focus. Yeah, that's just a guarantee. You try it out yourself. Try to like work or study for more than like 90 minutes without getting distracted. I guarantee you, if you try to do like a 3-hour study session, you get distracted. Because that's how like science works and stuff. But that's a topic for later on. But anyway, 90 minutes. I do my first deep work session. By the way, I plan all my work in the evening here. So like bedtime prep and eat. This is where I do my like planning for the next day on an application called Notion. I have a video on Notion as well on my channel, exactly how I plan that, and I will link it up somewhere. But yeah, I do 90 minutes of work in the morning. I then do something called NSDR, which is like, if you've heard of this guy named Andrew Hume, it's his like meditation meditation routine. And then because I'm Muslim, I also pray in the morning. I pray this like a prayer called Fajr. But yeah, I do NSDR and that. And then I go straight back to my desk here, and then I do my second deep work session. So I literally like work for another 90 minutes. My like brain is kind of fried from doing such hard work in the morning. I go back, do like the highest leverage work again for another 90 minutes, and then I'm pretty much done. Yeah. I then get ready for school, like just do like if I have like I don't know, like if I have to bring something into school, if I have to like bring certain like books or something to school, I pack that here. And then I eat food. I'm bulking right now, as you can see. So I kind of have to eat quite a lot. So I eat before school. I then go to school at 8:45 a.m. And then I get back from school at 4 p.m. Do another 60-minute deep work session. So not 90 minutes this time. This is, yeah, again, like I have to do the highest leverage thing. So the hardest thing towards my goal. But then after 5 p.m. I don't do any more work at all. I completely shut down all of my work, and then I just go to the gym, just chill out for about 2.5 hours-ish. And then I come back home, and then I bedtime prep and eat, 7:30 to 8 p.m. I just like prep and stuff, and then just prepare for the next day, and then I repeat it. Sorry. Now a lot of you may be asking, like, there's two questions. I'll go over my weekend like schedule in a bit, but there's two things. what if my day changes, right? What if like, because I'm in sixth form, what if I have no lessons in the morning? If I have a lesson, if I end like at 1:25, because I do sometimes. The thing is, right, I still don't change this. I still don't change my daily planner, and I don't think you should as well. When you make this, try to keep something consistent with every single day, basically. Try to wake up at the same time and try to go to bed at the same time, because it creates routine. My goal for this is not to like do the work, like of course getting the grades and doing the work is a good thing, but my goal is bigger than just getting the grades here. It's basically to develop or like follow this routine AFK. So if you're not a video gamer, AFK basically means like away from keyboard. So I don't really think about what I'm doing. Like I don't think about the deep work session. I don't think of my routine or something. I just do it anyway. So my goal is that if I just like train myself just to overcome the initial resistance of trying to work in the morning, and then I just try to follow this every single day, there's gonna come a point in my life, in like maybe 2 months from now, 3 months from now, where I get up and without even thinking, I do 90 minutes here. I follow this entire routine, and when it's the evening, I'm just like, damn, I did this without even really thinking about it. Right now, this is so much, like, this is painful. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Like, waking up at 4:30, when I wake up, I'm not sleep deprived, but I'm still like tired. I can't be asked to get up. The whole like house is silent. My parents wake up at like 9 a.m. My brother wakes up at 6 a.m. I don't really know why he wakes up at 6 a.m. He's like in secondary school now. But yeah, my goal for this is just like, if I can follow this as much as possible every single day. Look, if you see here, my daily routine is literally like, I wake up at the same time every single day. Like every single day I want to wake up at the same time and go to sleep at the same time. So my goal is that if I can get up at the same time, like 4:30, without using an alarm, that's like the perfect scenario. That's what will be sick for me. If I can just wake up without an alarm, it will be sick. But yeah, if I try to wake up every single day at the same time, I develop a routine. And routine, again, like I reiterate in this video, is one of the best things you can do, like in general. My entire life right now is not A-levels. It's not like this YouTube channel. It's not going to the gym. It's just following this routine. My entire priority in life is just following this routine. When I finally crack the code of following this routine AFK without like really giving any brain power to it, that's when I know that that's when like shit gets real, and like I actually know how to I'll be able to like be disciplined properly. But anyway, let's go to my like weekend work routine. So in the weekend, I get up at the same time, or I try to get up at the same time. I do deep work session 1, NSDR, deep work session 2, NSDR again, and deep work session 3, and then I eat, and then I pretty much do no other work for the rest of the day. Because this, I guarantee you that studying 4 hours of deep work is incredibly hard. If you do it properly, if you actually do deep work, and you don't just like loiter around just reading your textbook or something, I promise you that this will be insanely tough. And I'm not gonna lie, it's Saturday today, and I didn't get up at 5:30. I didn't get up at 5 o'clock. I got up at like 10. I got up at like 10 a.m. Sorry, not p.m. Because I just went to sleep like really late yesterday, and that's okay. Like all I have to do now, I'll show you my like daily what I planned out. This is my plan for today. So 7 o'clock, I woke up I tried to wake up at 7 o'clock. Realistically, I woke up at 10 because I just went to sleep like really, really late yesterday. So I just went to the gym first thing in the morning, get motivated, and then I'm doing 4 hours of work, 4 hours of deep work, taking a 15-minute break, and then doing 2 more hours of deep work. I know this will be like excruciatingly hard, but that's like the punishment I get for not following my routine. But yeah, this is how I set up my daily routine. My Sunday looks like the same, like three hours of deep work in the morning, eat, shallow work plus read. So like I actually try to like learn stuff. I want to like intentionally try to improve either my YouTube channel, reading some like books, reading some non-fiction books, or just learning in general in this time. And then I like batch record, so I try to record all my YouTube videos at the same time. One more thing is like, when I record YouTube videos, I change my t-shirt to make it seem like I haven't recorded it on the same day. But it's like all of my, like for the next 4 videos, I've all recorded it in this one period of time. But yeah, I try to record all my YouTube videos here and then go to the gym and then sleep. One more thing is, when you're making your routine, avoid the temptation you get of trying to schedule in like 12 hours a day. Because I guarantee you, I've tried this so many times. I've tried this like, when I had exams and stuff, I've tried like scheduling in like 10 hours every single day, and I never hit the goal. I've never ever studied 10 hours a day consistently. And you think you may be different. You think that you're like this academic weapon who can study it like, or work 12 hours a day or 10 hours a day. But I guarantee you, if you actually track your life, you won't. Because again, I reiterate this every single time on my YouTube channel, that we are just teenagers. We are just like, we haven't had the experience. We haven't had the experience of being disciplined and following a routine. So my goal is, if I can follow this routine to the dot for the next 3 months, 4 months, I will then be able to increase my workload. Because honestly, like, if we put this honestly, like, you probably aren't as productive as you think you are. You may think that you're like some academic weapon because you watch my videos, you watch like other study YouTuber videos. But I guarantee you, if you actually track your life, if you track what you do every 30 minutes, you're not as productive as you think you are. And this will fix it. If you follow a routine like this will fix it. But anyway, when you plan your routine, you have to have some time to socialize. So like, I'm gonna get either 2 responses from this video. Either people are gonna say, "Oh mate, you just stay at home and revise all day, or you like work all day." Like, that's some unique behavior. My response to that question is no, I don't. When I go to the gym, I leave like an extended time period so I can actually go and talk to people and actually socialize. And then on top of that, on Saturdays, I leave like 4 hours, at least not today because I woke up late. But like normally on Saturday, I'll leave like 4 hours so I can just go out with my mates. Because again, there's two extremes. You don't want to be like a hermit crab who's like antisocial. You actually want to develop social skills and stuff. So you do need to go out, but also you don't want to just be out and do like nothing productive all day. So the other extreme is like, oh, you should probably schedule in more work. You're in year 13 now, you should probably like work more. But again, I know my limits. I know that I can't study 10 hours a day consistently. So I know that if I stick to this routine and be like, and I am disciplined in this one routine every single day, then if I change it, I know that I'm actually going to incorporate it in my life. And it's not just going to be some like 3 a.m. motivation where I say, oh yeah, I'm going to study 10 hours a day. And then I say that to myself, but then the next day I'm just like watching Instagram Reels again. So the TLDR of this YouTube video is, plan a schedule. So like, you can copy the sort of style of mine. If you want to wake up early in the morning, you can do that as well. But copy my routine in some kind of way. Or copy like, if you don't want to copy it, like make your own routine that you're going to follow every single day. Pretty much keeping your bedtime the same, waking up the same, when you study the same. And also, like, a quick little tip is, when you revise, when you study, when you do any sort of work, you want to do it all in one block. You don't want to spread it out in the day, because when you spread it out in the day, what happens is that your entire day will be just you thinking about it will be like that weird feeling of like, oh, I have more work to do all throughout the day, and you don't want to have that. You just want to get it over and done with in the morning, so you can just chill out in the evening, right? So just follow my routine, copy it in some sort of way, copy like some kind of structure from it. If you want to use my routine as it is, you can do that as well. If I can link this template down below, I definitely will. And just follow this routine. And I'll pass it on to my previous self, who's going to be explaining the rest of the video from now on. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Now I'm going to go on to the benefits of having this routine that you can stick onto. Because I've discussed my own routine, but now I'm just going to make it really crystal clear about the benefits you get when you follow this routine. And that, just to caveat this again, I'm not perfect. I literally just like heard about this like 2 weeks ago. I'm trying my best to stay onto this routine. But if you think about it, I think I've said this before in the video as well, even if you stick onto your routine like 50%, you're still going to be more productive. You're going to do more work if you do that than do like your normal day, because your normal day has like no direction. When you have a routine, you know exactly, like, you know the time, you know like if you should be doing the activity you're doing right now, if it's like good, if it's congruitive to your routine, and if it's not, you have to go do that. But anyway, the benefits of your routine are, number one, you won't find yourself being unproductive. Like, imagine this, right? It's like 3 p.m. You get out your phone, you start going on Instagram, and you see those like really productive students. There's like day in the life videos that I've made as well, and you get really demotivated because of that, and you're just like, oh man, like I'm just a waste man. I'm really unproductive. When you have a routine that's set in stone, you know exactly, like it's very binary if you're doing the right thing or not. Even if it's like gym, right? If you go to the gym and then you see someone online who's getting like all nines and stuff, or like all A stars, you won't feel demotivated because you know that you're on your routine, and that like means that eventually you're gonna get that success. So it relieves you of stress because you know if you're doing the right thing in the moment, you're on an upwards trajectory to success. Okay, this is like if you didn't have a routine, it could be like 3:50 p.m. and then you see someone who gets really good grades online, who has one of your goals that you want, and then you just get randomly demotivated, and you're just like, oh man, like I can't do this. But if you have a routine, that's gone. Number 2 is you can reliably schedule work ahead. When I was in year 12, I had this problem a lot. Like even in year 11, I would say, okay, I'm gonna do this work next week, and then next week would roll around, and I'm really like tired one day, and then like, I just don't do the work, and then the whole week goes by, and I haven't done the work, and then I get bad on the exam, and then like that cycle continues of I'm more demotivated, and that causes less exam grades, or like less of my goals to be achieved. But now if you have a routine that you really stick in stone, like I'm talking like you should be so familiar with this routine that it should just be like imprinted in your brain. Like you probably know what you have period 5 on a Friday, right? It should be like that. You should know what you have 3:20 on a Saturday, or like you should know like, okay, 12:50 on a Saturday. What are you doing then? That's how imprinted your routine should be in your brain. And I'm not claiming to have that, right? I don't know what I'm doing on 12:50 on a Saturday, but like that's the goal we're moving towards. And just a side tangent again, that's the goal I want to pursue in year 13. I'm going to literally dedicate my entire year 13, not to A levels, not to like this YouTube channel, but just to follow my routine as best as possible. Now, if I do follow my routine as best as possible, and if I literally become like this psychopathic guy who just does the work, like follows his timetable to a T, these two will come. The success will come. But yeah, you can reliably schedule work ahead, and you'll never have that like problem of like, oh, I haven't done this work, or I haven't like completed this assignment, because you're always scheduling work in advance. And when you schedule work in advance, you know that you're actually going to do it later on in the future. Like you won't randomly feel demotivated and go off your routine. The third main benefit is it gives you something to fall back on. There's been so many times in my life where I've just been like sad, tired, or like anxious because of exams, especially exams, right? In exams, the weird thing that kind of happens is that like you get peer pressured into revising more. I've seen. So like in my end of years, I got peer, like everyone around me was doing like 10 hours a day, so I was like, oh, I may as well do 10 hours a day. But that completely threw off like my routine, and I was, in a weird way, I got lesser grades than I would if I just stuck back on my routine. But now if you have a solid routine stuck in stone, no matter what anyone says, no matter what anyone's doing, if you just follow your routine, you will get success. It gives you something to fall back on, because if you're just like, if your emotions are just haywire, you know exactly what you should do at that moment. Okay, if you like, I don't know, if like I don't know, you've got a really bad exam grade, if you've ended your relationship, if you just fallen out with your friends, like emotions can be high, and if you just follow your routine, you know that you're gonna do the work regardless of that. Especially if you do it correctly and you just like actually follow this routine, you know that regardless of anything, you're just gonna follow your routine, and you become this like very high performer who just does the work even when they're not feeling like it. I've never been able to do this, honestly. In my life, I've never been able to do this. I've always been influenced by my emotions to an extent. Like I've always been like that guy who's like tired and doesn't want to do the work, or he's like sad and doesn't do the work, or like in like our library, or in our like study area in our sixth form, I'll be like talking to my friends, and like if I'm having like a good conversation, I won't go and do the work. But hopefully, I'm hoping that this routine will help me like resolve all of that, because now I know exactly what I should do, and if I'm not doing it, I'm not on the correct path, and if I am doing it, I am on a correct trajectory. So these are the main 3 benefits that building a routine will give you, and I hope that like I genuinely think that this one routine thing is one of the best things I've ever discovered in my life. Like in general, this is that so far it's made me so productive, and I can just imagine what it's going to be like in the future, where this is literally imprinted in my head and I do the same thing every single day. Like I'm visualizing a world maybe like a month from now or 2 months from now, where I literally get up really early without an alarm. I go do work, like a lot of work in the morning. I come back from school and I know exactly what to do. I literally don't even need to look at my timetable. I can just like I know exactly what to do, and I just happens AFK. I don't really need to like force myself to go and do the work. I just do it naturally, and that's what I'm trying to build towards. So now I'm going to move on to the last section of the video, which is the mistakes you kind of make when you're first setting up your routine. Number one is scheduling too much work. I've done this so many times in the future. You've probably seen my routine, and then if you're doing it, like, let's be honest, right? You're probably a high achiever. You probably want to be a high achiever. So you're gonna say like, oh, I'm gonna study 6 hours a day, but you have to think about it in like a realistic scenario. Imagine you're really tired from school, or like you're really hungry for some reason, or you've had a falling out with your parents or something. Would you do 6 hours of work? I don't think you will, because I don't know, like, at least for me, maybe some people can, but at least for me, like, I've always been like avoiding of work. So having only a few hours of work every single day, as long as I do this every single day, like regimentedly, I know exactly how much work I have to do every single day. I study the same amount of hours or work the same amount of hours every single day, regardless of what I'm feeling. I think that this is very sustainable. But if a lot of people just like not listen to this advice, they're gonna like schedule in 8 hours of deep work a day because that's gonna get them more exam grades, and then they're gonna go off this routine in like a week or so. We don't want to do that. We want to keep this honestly for life. I think I can't imagine a career or like a field of study where this won't be effective. I think that if everyone just adopted this routine, the world will be way more productive. But I don't know. I've only started following this, so yeah, don't schedule in way too much work, because it's just gonna, you like, let's be honest, we're teenagers here. We're not like some fucking we're not like millionaire CEOs or something. We have urges. We have like random days that like your mates come over, or like you go out sometimes. But yeah, we're teenagers. We're not like some millionaire CEOs with like super productive day in their lives. We just want to become more productive, and yeah, making it sustainable will be beneficial. Number two is you're not as productive as you think you are. I touched on this in the previous point, but a lot of people think they gas themselves. You're not that guy, bruv. You trust me, you're not that guy. I thought I was that guy. Like, I thought I was so productive. I thought I was like, honestly, like a really, really, really like productive student until my end of year 12 exams, where I just completely fell off because of the lack of routine. But you're probably not as productive as you think you are. You probably can't work for more than 90 minutes at a time. Like, I don't care if you've done 6 hours a day before. You probably haven't. It was probably like shallow work. Go watch my video coming out on like deep work. But you're not as productive as you think you are. We're teenagers again. We waste a lot of time randomly, and the only way to improve is to acknowledge that. Stop gassing yourself. Just stick to this routine. Stop trying to do 13 hours a day of revision, and life will be good. If you just stick to this routine, like, don't schedule in like insane levels of work. Don't think that like on the way to school you're gonna do maths flashcards or something, like science flashcards. You probably won't. You probably like listen to Dave or something on the way to school. You're not gonna do flipping science flashcards. You're not as productive as you think you are. Like we're trying to be productive in the future, but that can only come if we acknowledge how unproductive we are right now. So this is like a weird tangent for me, but like, yeah, just don't schedule in too much work. I would cap it at around 4 hours of work a day. I don't think anyone our age could do about like more than 4 hours of work a day. And yeah, just do that every single day and you'll be fine. Number three is schedule in time to go to the gym and time to go out. Now, if you see my routine, either people are gonna think that I'm way too antisocial because I don't go out that much, or people are gonna say, they're completely gonna like ignore this, right? They're gonna ignore the point at which they schedule time to go out. And to both of these people, I'm like, okay, if you think I'm too antisocial, I go out every single day to the gym and I speak to people. And I like schedule in time to go and have fun. Like I schedule in like 5 hours on a Saturday. Like regardless of what exams I have, I will my goal in the future, or like the goal I'm trying to stick to, is that on the weekend I have time to just go out and have fun. Go out and just like muck about as teenagers. Like I think that time is needed. You can't revise 10 hours a day. In my opinion, you do need to have like character development and stuff. And also you need some fitness. I know a lot of people who literally, honestly, they're just like obese. Like our age, they're obese because they're just nerds. I know that like, that sounds really mean, right? But some people our age, they just, they could be really good at academics, but you need your fitness as well. You do need to go to the gym. So yeah, schedule in like going or doing some kind of fitness every single day. I go to the gym. Sometimes my gym time will be replaced with something like jiu-jitsu, or I train Muay Thai with one of my mates. But yeah, just plan some kind of fitness every single day, and don't overlook this. Please don't overlook this. I don't care how busy you think you are. Just do some kind of physical activity every single day. And also schedule in at least one time going out with your mates, because in my opinion, like not having that time with your mates where you just go muck about is really unsustainable, because we're not like millionaire CEOs, we're still teenagers, we're just like living life, you know what I mean? But yeah, if you avoid these 3 mistakes and you just stick to your routine, honestly, just like a psychopath, doing the same thing every single day, you will be insanely successful. Like think about this, how many people have a routine that they follow every single day? You probably know of no one. Like you can't think of anyone that follows a routine as strictly as I'm telling you to, and I can't think of anyone who follows a routine that I preach. But if you become that guy who just has an insane work ethic, even if we're moving away from grades and we're talking about life in general, you will become such a high performer. You'll become like honestly just insanely successful if you just develop an insane work ethic. I think I've rumbled on for way too long. Implement a routine and become insanely successful. Hopefully, God willing. I'll see you in the next one. Like this video, share this video to someone who doesn't have a routine and is really unproductive, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.